12 practices down. That's a wrap for Arizona Cardinals training camp out in Glendale. Up next, preseason. But before then, we're going to give us our biggest camp takeaways, Johnny Venerable.
One big takeaway, Will Hernandez is back. What's his timeline to return? Is he even a starter? PHNX Cardinals starts now. Hey, welcome in. Live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K, the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier #1 Arizona Cardinal podcast. Or subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. That is Brack, I think, and Noah's behind the mic today. Magnum PI, how we living, my guy? Hammer that like button, Bo.
Hammer that like button, indeed. I'm home from camping. Gonna take a big old shower. That's right. 12 practices of camp, and here we are. I've got this Hawaiian shirt to really show off. It was Hawaiian shirt day at camp. And my rowdy friends at camp, we like to show up and show off our culture, our family that we've created and cultivated there. Mr. Fat Gangster is part of the family we have here, the Cards community, PHNX diehards. How about Shaft? I see you. Tej, Steven Jackson, maybe the former Rams running back. We don't know. Han Shot First, Darth Vader, Michael Evans. I see you. Ryan Walker, Bonnie Venerable. Love that. Alberto Didi's in the house. The Art of Being Freed. Fuddle. Love that. Squad. Everybody's here and ready for some football. There's some on TV. We just watched Anthony Richardson just get blown up. Did Daniel Jones maybe grease up the right tackle to allow that to happen? Maybe, but we can't confirm or deny that. But we're talking ball regardless today.
Yeah, Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes once famously destroyed the Cardinals week 2 with the Giants 2 years ago. We will not repeat that again. But there's a calling card that's going to become due a couple weeks into this season at Indy, if this is trending the way we think it is. But we'll talk about Steichen and fraud Danny Dimes later. This is a Cardinal podcast. Hammer that like button. Again, training camp with the Arizona Cardinals concluded today. Went by fast, as we alluded to on yesterday's show, and full steam ahead. The preseason appetizer to the regular season. Brack, Cardinals look good. Camp was raucous today, as was yesterday, and we're feeling good about the squad. No, you don't feel like there was a ruckus day?
No, it was not. It was pretty low-key, pretty quiet day at camp, as it traditionally is on the final day before they break. Kind of half speed, wearing no shells, no true pads, and just going through it. So not too much to report as far as the actual action on the field. I thought the pressers pre and post practice kind of were the juice this day. Do we need to point this out? I see our guy Frank DeWitt III. I'm now a diehard as of yesterday. Another one joins up, taking advantage of the low price of $36 for a year. That means $3 a month if you get up and join a diehard, become a diehard today. So Frank, welcome to the community. Love having you part of the gang officially.
Frank, we appreciate you, my brother. Again, tag us on Twitter, follow, retweet, all the good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, you can rock this MHJ celebratory touchdown t-shirt for the price of on the house when you become a diehard. We're fired up to see everybody. Bo and I are going to give you our definitive camp takeaways. We're going to preview Saturday's game, but we got a bit of a breaking news earlier today. And Bo, we alluded to this on Monday with the visit from a familiar face. Will Hernandez came in. We got tipped off. Knew there'd be some juice on Monday. There was. And now, a couple days later, they get pinned to paper. Will Hernandez returning, according to Jordan Schultz, officially to the Cardinals on a 1-year deal. Now, he's got, ample time to get back out on the field But your immediate takeaway, and you saw the man himself today in Glendale.
That's right. A gigantic behemoth of a man. Absolutely just massive, wide human is Mijo Will Hernandez. And look, this is just a overall positive. What do good teams do? They just accumulate talent. They never stop that process. And being able to bring back a guy like Will Hernandez going into a pivotal season where the expectations are as high as they've ever been is just a huge dub for Monty Austinfort, Jonathan Gannon. Now, I know a lot has to go right as far as continued rehab and health of Will Hernandez, who was immediately put on PUP, physically unable to perform list as he returns, like medically cleared for football activities, right? But still not going to be ready to participate out there on the grass. So going to continue to put in the work there. You know, Will's good for that. But the fact that they can add a starting caliber player like Will Hernandez to their offensive line, and, you know, as injuries inevitably happen in this league, to have that instead of having to like turn to the unknown as far as some journeyman you brought in this offseason or some rookie you drafted and he feels too green, that's not going to be the case. Like, once Will Hernandez gets a clean bill of health and is ready to hit the football field, he's going to be able to contribute. And that's huge because I think your offensive line goes from 5 deep to 7 deep now that you feel pretty confident in.
Yeah, I'll go a step deeper here. I think that PUP is not an option. I think it's what's going to happen. I think you would agree with that. They're going to put him on PUP. He can't practice. He's not going to be able to.
He was in practice. The release. Yeah, he's PUP.
He's. I don't know when he's going to be cleared for like.
He's a PUP. Yeah, that's right.
He'll be a PUP guy.
Yeah.
And again, they'll slow play this because they can afford to do so. This was a stash and grab, as we mentioned it on Monday. This is not something. Again, there are still people on social media and people reporting like he's going to enter the competition, right? He's going to go in and he's going to push Isaiah Adams, and Isaiah Adams, we better be perfect in the preseason. Guys, what are we doing here? He blew out his knee last year. He just got cleared a couple of weeks ago. How long does it take to get in football shape? He's got to get live reps. He's got to take on the Cardinals' revamped defensive line. This is a depth piece for later in the season. The Cardinals' current unit has been rocking and rolling since April, May, June, July. They've had 4 months of work. But again, doesn't mean he can't contribute. Like a perfect world, I mean, he probably doesn't contribute because everybody's healthy and they're playing high-level football. Even Jonathan Gannon, when asked to Dabo, mentioned, like, what's his role? Do we have that by chance? What's his role for Will Hernandez? Let's see it.
He's a good player, but coming off a major injury, so we'll get him in and get him caught up, get him healthy and ready to go. Yeah, he's mean and nasty. The plan for right now is Isaiah being the starter at right guard and Evan being a starter at left, and get Will healthy, and then get him on the practice field and see where he's at. And when we got on the phone with Will, and I felt like he wanted to be here. I have a good relationship with Will, but he knew we had to do what was best for us first with him, unfortunately coming off the injury. And we had a really good talk with him, sat him down, and here's exactly what we're thinking, Monty and I, with the offense coordinator, O-line coach, and then talk to the O-line, But we honestly, if it's whoever we bring in, he's a little bit of a unicorn because he's been here for 2 years, you know what I mean? But when we bring in new players from anywhere, we kind of have the same process with that too. So I always say, if you're honest and upfront with everybody, then you just go.
I mean, there you are. I mean, the latter of that is kind of how this went down. And I think it turned into the perfect storm for the Arizona Cardinals to keep a really good football player in-house. Whereas, as Jonathan Gannon outlined there, the business side of this, where everybody would like to keep good people on the roster. As far as his injury last October, it prevented them from doing that. Like, with both parties involved, it just made sense for the Cardinals to go out and think about their interior offensive line situation with the focus on the future and the present, and Will Hernandez going to rehab. You had no assurances there. So now, once they got that and they felt comfortable with Adams and they have Evan Brown in place back at the left guard spot, and nothing, not to say nothing materialized for Will Hernandez, but nothing was as appealing as staying in the desert because of a lot of different things. And I think is a good conversation as far as the culture that the Cardinals have put in place here for him to want to come back and even compete in a backup role, and have a full understanding of that going into this. It's just how good organizations do business. So you get to see kind of behind the velvet rope there about kind of what went into bringing Mijo back.
Yeah, this will be his 4th year with the team. That's 4 years of his life here in Arizona. He did his rehab here. He's got a home here. Like, to me, it's like, I get it. He could have had maybe more lucrative options outside of Arizona, but that means uprooting your family. And especially as you just got cleared, why not go through the process of getting back to the player that you were before the injury with the team that, gave you an opportunity, albeit a different regime in 2022. And then 2023, Gannon and company, he wanted to be here. There was a mutual, just like right now, a mutual understanding and interest between Austin Ford Gannon and Mijo Will Hernandez. So it's just a continuation of that. So I think, again, I would assume he plays at some point this year, given injuries, given, the depth that is needed to get through a 17-game season. Hell, how many times did we see Tristan Colon last year have to enter the lineup for the Arizona Cardinals? So it's a coup for this team. And for Will, I mean, I think it just speaks to the kind of person and player that he's been in touch with the organization. This is something that they've kind of stashed away. Like, when you're ready, get cleared, come in, we'll talk about it. We'll have a conversation. Like, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know how much money he's making. But like, I would imagine it's probably something incentive laden, given the fact it's a 1-year contract and they have starters already in place. But as far as the folks that are cemented into the lineup right now, Bone, we touched on this Monday, I don't think it changes anything for them.
No.
Like, you're going to have, before Will is ready to even play in a game, you're going to have minimum, I think, 4 to 6 weeks of NFL football that has already happened. And like we saw it last year, I know everybody, rushed to put Will Hernandez in the lineup, but what happened last year when Kelvin Beachum played really good football and they put in Jonah Williams back in the lineup, and the momentum, and they lost some juice up front. So I think the best case scenario is you put him in when you need to because somebody goes down. That's what this is.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just having good football players beyond just your starting contributors, right? Yeah. And I think as far as kind of kind of knocking on the door as far as the starters here is like, we're so far away from that. Like, we're 2 steps ahead, and the first step here is him getting back fully healthy and being able, as Gannon said, practice and see where he is there. Like, but also, like, this is not an indictment at all. This is just an organization having kind of VIP access because Will Hernandez has been here for the last 3 years, now going on 4, and loved the culture here and wanted to return with his teammates and not uproot himself. You have VIP access to a good football player that wanted to come in and kind of get reestablished in this league after suffering this bad injury last year. It's just, it's good that they were able to take advantage of that. It's good that the relationship stayed sound. There was no animosity. There's no ill will. It was all amicable as far as that went, and even more so, but not an indictment on the current starters. Like, you should have a lot of, I'm going to say this right now, you need to have a lot of confidence in year 2 Isaiah Adams. Like, the people who have hesitation are people that are holding on to of something that they thought they saw in a preseason game last year. Like, this is a guy that the Cardinals have a ton of conviction in, that can play and hold down an interior offensive line spot for the next half decade to decade.
Yeah, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial, and I would hope that this show gets the benefit of the doubt sometimes when we talk to people. But my co-host is at practice every day. I've been at probably 7 training camp practices. We're going to be in Denver next week. If Isaiah Adams couldn't play, we would tell you he couldn't play. We would be honest and say, this kid's getting worked in camp. They got to do something. I mean, guys, the last 2 training camps, we have come on the show, and I said the pass rush is bad. The defensive line depth is not good. Colt McCoy's arm is toast, right? Isaiah Adams has been one of the most impressive players in camp, so much so that JG said it himself unprompted. So again, and it's not to rip on people online, but I'm going to go to Twitter. The people that are on Twitter that are clamoring for Will Hernandez to play, and it's only a matter of time, they are maybe not at camp watching Isaiah Adams, I don't know, look really effing good as a 25-year-old former third-round pick. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm not taking shots at anybody in particular, but it's like, believe coaches when they say it, and then look with your eyes. I think he's going to play well. I think he's going to play damn well this weekend.
We usually reserve the super chats for later in the show, but I want to get some attention on the Cards burner. How about this? 10 likes and I'll become a diehard. Hit the like on, I believe, on the comment. Is that what he's asking for? No, you keep me straight here.
I don't know if you can like. Can you like comments?
Yeah, he's already at 9. One more. Let's
perfect.
get it done.
There we go.
Better hold up your end of the bargain here,
Card burner. Let's go.
Even if it's not, like if he's like, whoa, that was a major backfire. We like that you've considered becoming a diehard and being part of the community here. Already are. It would just become official. Look, Isaiah Adams, producer Noah, who's been to Detroit Lions camp several times, he's very high on Isaiah Adams.
Oh yeah. I legit think he could be an all-pro guard this season.
Now that's some high praise there, but like the people who are hesitant, like the one-on-one reps, he's going up against Darius Robinson. What does Johnny say early in camp about D-Rob? Have another standout camp performance. And then you got Isaiah Adams going in there, big 74, stonewalling big 56. Like he's big, he's strong, he's athletic. If you look at, the pre-draft stuff, I just think that you should have some confidence as far as Isaiah Adams coming in and playing a position that he was relatively new to. He was asked to play out of position at Illinois. He was asked because he was their best offensive lineman, even though he profiled better inside, to play left tackle for the Illini. And now he's going to play his second season playing the interior. I think it's just going to bode well for even better performance.
Yeah, Shaft will tell you he's been at damn near every training camp. He thinks that Isaiah Adams looks good. And we have this stigma, right, where the prior regime or regimes were so horrifically bad at drafting, developing offensive linemen, Scrub McGrub Dirts from whatever school, Mason Cole and Evan Boehm. We've all eaten that crow. Oh, this kid can play. Yeah. Watch him. It's like turnstile. Get him out of there, right? Then they bring in veteran Band-Aids, Billy Prices of the world. It's like, you're going to get Kyler Murray killed. You're going to get Carson Palmer killed. This is the first franchise regime with Austin Ford Gannon, and Drew Petzing's done a hell of a job. I've always been consistent with my take. They have done a tremendous job under Drew, simplifying and allowing offensive linemen to lean into what they do well and developing offensive linemen. This is a coaching staff that has developed Paris and Yelda Froholt, right? That could easily go down as two of the best at their position in franchise history. Mm-hmm. And they love Isaiah Adams. Who am I to say that he can't play then? What kind of take is that? And by the way, Will Hernandez, who was an afterthought, booed out of New York because, befuddled Giant fans don't know what a great player looks like, comes here and supersedes his draft pick. So much so that people called him one of the best guards in football. Where did that happen? It didn't happen with Brian Dable and company. It didn't really happen with Cliff Kingsbury. It happened with this regime. So if they love an offensive lineman, I'm not going to come out and be like, no, you guys are actually wrong, even though your resume says you're right.
Well, with Will Hernandez getting back to the re-signing today, and you talk about him going from like draft darling, second round pick out of UTEP, had a great Senior Bowl and had a great combine, showing off the strength, and then going to that just wasteland that is East Rutherford in the New York Giants organization, where it's just like a lot of offensive linemen's career is DOA, right? It's just it's dead on arrival, where you've got Will Hernandez, who got out of there and he changed his training regimen where he started doing MMA training, and the guy that was known as only being able to protect in a phone booth, he wasn't limited to it. He worked on his footwork. He's just, I think he's a lot better player. And then, the working along with Clayton Adams, who is so good as their offensive line coach until, going and getting the better title in Dallas this offseason. I mean, it's done wonders for Will Hernandez, where I think he's just an established player in this league now after, being able to bust allegations.
Let's see that post from Mijo himself, split screen with doing his best Kyler Murray impression, In-N-Out Burger. Hey, one, let's run it back. Just missing the bow, but I'm here. Happy
We need to
birthday.
recreate this. You and I do too,
No,
as well.
we definitely should, Mijo. Let's get it going this season. First of all, we talk about like vibes of this team. He helps exponentially the locker room vibes. I mean, talk about it, Bo. Like you're in the locker room every day. I'll never forget we were in the locker room last year and we were sitting there and we're in the zone. We're on our phones, right? We're kind of robots, like trying to get content out. And he just walks up to both of us and he goes, "How are you guys? Did I do something wrong? Is everybody okay?" And we're like, "We're great." Will Hernandez, incredibly large man. And he gave us a thumbs up and walked away.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I mean, he grew the stash last year. He's got his own apparel company, Mijo Things. He's got the taco truck. He's very loyal to his community there in El Paso where he grew up. And it's just an overall good guy. Like Monty Austinford told us, I think, the pre-draft, just one of his press availabilities. It's like good players and good people can't lose, right? I think I added that part, and it's just from Friday Night Lights. But like that is a pretty good recipe. And when you can crack the code and you can find guys that keep the main thing focused on football, but also, are invested in their teammates, like that's great. Like I think Will Hernandez was essential as far as the maturation and development of Paris Johnson Jr.
Yeah.
Like Paris Johnson Jr. came in and played right tackle, played out of position, and he had this tag team duo member in Will Hernandez that made that transition I think a lot easier on him in his first year than I think some tackles get to experience. And then he was able to flip back over to his natural position. So, Mijo transcends it. I think everybody kind of agrees that. I talked to him, Johnny. This was before you got to New Orleans this Super Bowl. I was able to catch up with him. He was doing the rounds at the Super Bowl this year. And I just kind of got some insight onto like what attracts him to this community and if at that time he wanted to make sure he came back.
Hey man, of course I would love to stay where I'm at, where I already built these relationships, where I already know, what each person brings to the table. Like I'm a very loyal kind of dog, bro. Like once I connect with someone, once I play in the trenches with these guys, I'm attached. Like, I would definitely love to stay, but at the end of the day, it's not up to me. I can't make these decisions. And if something happens where like I can or I can't, then, we'll go off of that and we'll see, what the next step is. I haven't even thought about it. The only thing I think about is getting this knee back to 100%, which is exactly what's happening as well. And I'll be back, and I know that for sure. But until then, I can't, it'd be weird to worry about all these other things.
I'm not a small man, right? I mean, I'm about 6'1", about 200 pounds.
Same.
You could fit two of me, Will Hernandez.
He's one of the most imposing men in the NFL.
Right, Alberto. His forearm is the size of my head. Yeah.
I'm going to run through a list quickly here. Everybody hammer that like button. So these are the Cardinals edition. I'm adding Will Hernandez. This is the first Austin Ford signing of note in the fall ahead of the season. He traded for Joshua Dobbs. I'm talking about because this counts. Say what you want. I'm going to count this. He made a Kime Time-esque signing. He got a free agent of note to come play here and be a backup until they need him. This is who Austin Ford has added this offseason. And I'm going to include a couple re-signings here. Jacoby Brissett, Josh Sweat, Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell, Akeem Davis-Gaither, Baron Browning, Will Hernandez, Walter Nolen, Will Johnson, Jordan Birch, Cody Simon, Denzel Burke. Pretty good offseason.
Yeah.
And just pretty good offseason in an offseason where you had to have it.
Tip of the cap, Mr. Monty. Good team building.
And all those guys.
A team that was, a play away from being 9-8 last year. A team that was knocking on the door of the postseason, playing important games in December. And you got people we respect their opinions. You got national analysts that are saying fourth place finish. You got people saying that this is going to be a sub 500 team.
People are getting fired.
Yeah, it's pretty jarring when I hear that, and you look at what was already in place, And the loss, like, what did they really lose? Because you're White, maybe, at the off-ball linebacker position, but they wanted to get more athletic at that spot.
They're better at corner without Sean Murphy-Bunting. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, Dennis Gardeck, Jesse Lucchetta, Victor Dumakeji. You know how I felt this time last year. All the names I just read off, by the way, this isn't like fluff depth chart, garbage. 90% of those guys I just listed off look good in training camp, have a big time role, right? Jordan Birch could just develop this year, check back in next year. And that's okay, right? He's a 3rd round pick. Everybody else on that list, Calais looked awesome 2 days ago, right? Will Hernandez, nobody expected him to be signed by this team in early August. Josh Sweat looks fantastic. I mean, it's all right there for this team. We're going to go one step further. Bo and I are giving you our major takeaways from training camp. Plus, we're going to preview Saturday's matchup, and we might laugh at the 49ers at their expense. Highlights and more coming up. It's PHNX Cardinals. So flippin' fired up right now. I just want to get on the Bet365 app, and I just want to start dishing out some shekels, some money. I did not have Anthony Richardson anytime injury tonight, but if you did, congratulations. With Bet365, download the Bet365 app today. Download it, deposit a 10 spot, bet $5. You're going to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Okay. Cardinals futures are on there, right? Cardinals to win the division. It might be plus 350, 400. Go and do it right now. How about Arizona Cardinals -1.5 to -2 against Patty Mahomes and company on Saturday night? Yeah, we'll be sickos. I'm betting that game. Absolutely. My guy, Britton Golden, and I will both do it. I promise you that on our pregame show Saturday. Check that out. But check them out at Bet365. Got to be 21 years and older, physically located here in the great state of Arizona. Use those bonus bets, by the way, on player props, spreads, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. If you were someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Text NEXT STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov, Bo, for more info.
When you really build that stack over Bet365, put it into your checking account and then let Monarch Money direct you to how you could build even more wealth than what you're doing with Bet365 and save some money on it. How about half off your first year at monarchmoney.com using the code PHNX? Because the days of opening up your browser and looking at your online banking and your transactions and you're saying, where the hell did all my money go? Let's put those in the rearview mirror. Let's turn to Monarch Money, and you'll have a personal CFO right there on your smartphone, on your web browser. It's going to help you build legitimate wealth, and you're going to be financially feeling as stable as ever and start thriving. And you can do it with what Wall Street Journal calls one of the best budgeting apps available. How about 30,000 five-star reviews going on right now? Actually, Wall Street Journal is just calling it the best budgeting app of 2025, which is unbelievable. Get control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use the code PHNX at monarchmoney.com for half off the first year. That's 50% off your first year with monarchmoney.com. Use the code PHNX.
Everybody hit that like button, subscribe again, goal 500 likes on a football Thursday. We're doubling down today. Cardinals break camp. We're doing our preseason debut. We're off tomorrow, but we are certainly on come Saturday as we do pre-halftime and post-game for what will be a pretty tasty little preseason debut for the boys in red and white. But before we get to that, again, Bo, you were there today in Glendale. So let's put a bow, Mr. Bo Brack, on training camp 2025 with the Arizona Cardinals. I'll defer to you. Give me one definitive takeaway headline or otherwise from training camp.
Marvin Harrison Jr. will absolutely make a jump in year 2. Is that too chalky for you?
Give me some more juice. Give me some more specifics. What's it going to look like?
Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a versatile weapon in the passing attack. I think you're going to see the full array and complement to his physicality, his athleticism, his size. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be the player that everybody envisioned when they selected him 4th overall in the 2024 draft. So Marvin Harrison Jr., I think offensively, as chalky as that is, that's something that I'm going to go with. One thing, if you want me to go a little bit more hipsterish, you want me something a little
hang
bit.
On. Before I'm all about hipster
Yeah.
Bo, hipster Johnny.
Look at my shirt.
Teo Mackey, friend of the program, azcentral.com, I thought put out a good stat before the show or during the show. he charted, and he's always got his notepad out. He's always writing stuff. Teo does. He charted the 11-on-11 targets at full speed. And this is where you can really take this to the bank from my co-host. Marv led the team in 11-on-11 targets with 14. Then there was Trey McBride with 13. And then there was a big drop, and it's Zay Jones, right? And we like Zay Jones, and we like Michael Wilson. But the two alphas at the receiving core got the bulk share of the load, and Marv was number one. That was never the case. As everybody knows, we got 250 people watching live. That was never the case last year. I can look at a tweet and be as encouraged about Marvin and his prospects this year than I can watching a highlight that you post on Twitter, because I know now he's involved. He's part of the offense. He could be the offense some Sundays. That it's better late than never, I guess, for that.
Yeah, no, that's great. I didn't see that from Teo. I think that's great data. He did this last year. Sometimes I'll harken back to it. Like Michael Wilson was the guy that led the Cardinals in targets last year. So, and I think now you're going to see it more within the flow. And Michael said that much today. We talked to Mike in the post-practice pressers. Like, they all understand what Marvin Harrison Jr.'s role is. Like, there's nobody, there's no egos in that wide receiver room, even though it's a position that's notorious for having divas. It's like Marv is wide receiver one. He's going to get the target share, and everybody's going to expect a certain amount of balls to go to 18. So I think that absolutely happens. And then somebody you mentioned, and I don't want to steal from you, but I think Zay Jones now adds a different component to this offense. I really do. Like, I know people are like, well, how is that possible? He had 8 catches for like 89 yards last year, and most of that was in the finale against the 49ers. But from what we witnessed, I think he just adds almost a safety valve beyond you're trying to get your ball to your two top playmakers and Marv and Trey McBride, and then you got Michael Wilson. That I think you can legitimately say, like, I like what I've seen from Zay Jones and his ability to win and make plays.
Very polished route runner, and I think with Zay, he was a high draft pick. He was a 2nd-round pick out of East Carolina, and it's like, come here and be a number 1 receiver. Come here and be Mr. Explosives and highlight plays. And it's like, this is probably his best role. A number 3 to 4 option, he's a move the sticks receiver. Smooth underneath. He and Kyler Murray have a great rapport.
Yeah.
I don't need Zay Jones to take the top off the defense. I don't need Zay Jones to break 6 tackles, right? Let the 18 and 85 do that work. But like, hey, it's 2nd and 7 and an 8-yard completion is Zay Jones. That's what you're going to get. And again, he looks super efficient. He's been catching everything, and definitely one of the most unsung players this coming into this year, and certainly putting people on notice. So, all right, you're going Marv with a semi bullet.
Let me. I told you we heard from Michael Wilson. He did talk about Marv. We have that clip. Here's our guy, Michael Wilson.
I think definitely a lot of ways. I see it. Like most guys, when they put on 12 pounds, it looks like they get a little bit slower. I think he honestly looks faster. I think he's playing with more conviction, more confidence. I think he's been through 12 practices in camp, better at the catch point in terms of contested catches and finishing plays. And I think I think he's got confidence now in that if my feet aren't good, or if maybe I'm not beating a guy with my dynamic and nuanced route running, I can rely on my physical traits at the end of the day. And I think that's helped him play at a really high level in camp. Is maybe the route might not be perfect, but okay, I know I have my strength to rely on at the end of the day, and I can just muscle through, and win on a slant and be physical at the catch point.
Yeah, I mean, I watched Michael Wilson talk about Marv, and he's always been so complimentary. If you're Marvin Harrison Jr., I'm sure you were just dying for your teammates not to have to talk about you anymore. Because it don't you think? Because it's just like Tyler and Trey and Michael and JG and Drew Petzing. He so desperately just wants to go out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I love Budda Baker. We don't ever ask people about Budda because we know everything we need to know about Budda Baker and James Conner and now Trey McBride. I am so anxious for Marv to be cemented with those players that it's just almost like checking a box. You see number 3 out there, you know what to expect. You see number 18 out there, people are like, what's going on with Marv? Why isn't he Brian Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors? And so Marv is already a very humble, quiet individual, very private. and I'm sure he hates all of this.
Yeah.
I hate that everybody's being asked about me.
Our humble king probably hates just being complimented, really, even if he deserves it. But
Right.
I think he wanted to play at such a higher level, and he had such high expectations for his rookie season that he felt like he didn't tap into. It's like when your parents are over complimentary of you and are giving you your flowers to their friends and saying, "Oh, did you hear what Johnny did? Like he's going to be the lead in the play. He hasn't
tried out yet, but
yeah, exactly." And you're just like, "Mom, come on!" Like, but it's similar, but you do have a certain confidence in your own self that you are going to get there, but you don't want to hear people talk about it until it happens because there's a lot of work to be done.
Yeah. I saw that today. I'm just like, God, the season can't start fast enough for Marv. All right. Well, what's your hipster take, by the way? You had a hipster.
I gave you Zay on the offensive side. If you want to hold, you give your offensive guy first, or if we're just kind of shooting the hip here.
We just play it. We're just gonna play the hits here.
Isaiah Adams, to bring him back up, I thought he's had an unbelievable camp.
He has. He's been fantastic. I'll go negative. Or semi-negative or concerning. Like
you would, yeah. This is so you.
I like Jonah Williams. Lots riding on him to perform, and he has not looked great. And he's coming off multiple injuries last year. Do they look at a tackle that's cut just to ensure that they have a little bit more security there? Christian Jones is not ready. Josh Fryer's had a good camp, but he's an undrafted kid that needs to be developed. And I know who goes 3 deep on right tackle. Kelvin Beacham's a swing tackle. He's fantastic. I just wonder, do you look around? Do you think to yourself, like, man, if Jonah could go down in an instant, I would love for Jonah Williams to be the player that they thought they were getting. But I think right now I'm just trending toward, unless your name is Mack Wilson Sr., the free agent class of 2024 was just snake bit to some degree. Like, I just feel like I could be wrong, that a lot of those guys are just going to end up disappointing for this team. And listen, took some swings. They were in a weird place with the roster where it was like, let's contend, let's compete, but let's not go nuts. And clearly, like, they learned from it this offseason. Hell yeah, they had a great offseason. No notes, Monty Ossenford. Great job. Last year's offseason, So Jonah Williams has looked underwhelming to me. And Kelvin Beacham, to me, I thought he should have played all last year. Does he have one more great season in him? Can he hold it down? History says, yeah, he's been healthy. He is not overwhelming, but he is not embarrassing. He was one of the best pass protectors in the NFL last year during the stretch that he played. So I'll throw that out there. And again, I brought this up before. Like, Josh Simmons, in a perfect world, would have been a Cardinal, but Walter Nolen was there. You're not no reality in which you're doing that. So it's a back burner position for next offseason.
Yeah, no, I think, when we take what JG says in press conferences and then we look at our own eye test and take ours with a grain of salt, but the Adams thing adds up. The stuff that was said that was gassing up a guy like Jonah Williams, like a couple days later,
we thought he could be cut this offseason.
It had a tough time in the first day of pads. It was a nightmare practice for Jonah Williams. I mean, it was Baron Browning, Josh Sweat, multiple times, just getting beat. Whether it was physically or whether it was just speed. Like, there was multiple ways that he was having a tough time. So, and then, like, you look deeper on the depth chart, like Hayden Connor, he's a 6th round guard though. So, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Let's get to the defensive side. On the other side, of course, as we roll on here at PHNX Cardinals.
Keeping cool in the weather here in Arizona is damn near impossible. I left the facility yesterday.
Yeah.
The hottest day of my life. And then I saw Albert Breer in his article or his breakdown for SI. Albert Breer of SI was in Glendale covering the Cardinals yesterday for SI.
Our buddy.
He said it was the hottest day he's ever had in his life. I'm like, that tracks. It was 116 out yesterday. I needed All Pro Shades Concepts like I needed air. If you're not vibing with All Pro Shades Concepts, what are you doing? Right now, they're going to be able to hook you up. They're roll down patio shades, going to keep your temperature 20 degrees cooler. 96 from 116 might as well be 60 degrees for your boy. I'm in heaven. Hundreds of colors and durable fabrics to choose from to withstand that hot Arizona sun. Choose from manual to motorized. Again, they're going to come to your place. They can revamp what you got, work with your HOA, or they can start from scratch, gut job. You're going to get a free estimate in the process. They're the most trusted local shade company, voted #1 by Arizona for patio shades in 2024. They've been in business for 20 years in the Valley. Call them right now, 623-204-1476. That's 623-204-1476, or visit allproshadesconcepts.com right now to schedule your free estimate today.
You got All Pro helping you escape the heat and keep you protected. Different kind of shade, but let's talk about some shades you can wear on your face, protect your eyes. Shady Rays. We love Shady Rays. We've been in business, partnered up with them really since the beginning. We love Shady Rays because they're premium polarized sunglasses, but not for a premium price. Well below $100 price point. And when you start to utilize, like just being a listener for PHNX, you can use the code PHNX to get 35% off your sunglasses, your order there with Shady Rays. You're going to love it because these are the greatest and best sunglasses to go outside and adventure around and not have to worry about, well, if I drop them, I break them, I lose them, because they're going to be able to replace them for you. Really, no questions there. Shady Rays is the eyewear that has your back. Check them out right now. Find out why over 300,000 people have rated them 5 stars online. We're teamed up with Shady Rays, as I said. We're bringing this exclusive offer, 35% off at shadyrays.com. Use the code PHNX at checkout for that 35% off those polarized sunglasses at shadyrays.com.
Hammer the like button, friends. Get us to 500 here on a football preview show ahead of Saturday night. Before Saturday, we got to get through our training camp recap. I know I was negative on Jonah Williams. I'd like to be positive here with my defensive take. And I want to go first because I want this player selfishly for myself, because I'm very selfish. I want to talk a little bit about Will Johnson. We talk about Will Johnson consistently every show, okay? And you think back when they took him in the draft, how excited we were, but it was just the unknown, right? Like so many times have we been excited. I've been excited by a draft pick, and we get to camp and we watch him in the preseason, the regular season. It's just like, I'm underwhelmed. He's fine. He's just a guy, right? Isaiah Simmons, he's just a guy. I wasn't excited about that pick, but you see what I'm saying?
No.
If Will Johnson is healthy through the next several years, nothing major pops up, he will be a top 10 corner in the NFL. He will get generational wealth by the Arizona Cardinals. He will have Pro Bowl accolades, All Pro perhaps. He is the best corner that has been in Cardinal camp, like true corner, since Patrick Peterson. Like, and that's no disrespect. Tyron was a hybrid, slot safety. Garrett Williams plays the slot. This is the best corner that the Cardinals have drafted or had in camp as a free agent since Patrick Peterson got here. And Will is more refined than Pat was. Pat used a lot of athleticism early and worked on his craft. Will Johnson is as advertised. It's a sight to behold. You just knock on every piece of wood that you have. As long as he stays healthy, he will be a all-timer for this franchise.
I asked Mike Wilson what his thoughts were on Will Johnson. This is what he had to say.
It's a really good player. Yeah, I think he's going to have a really good career. I think certain rookies have sort of an it factor about the way they practice, how they approach the game, and you know that they have a chance to be a good player in the league. And I think he's got all the. Not only does he have the skill, the skill set stuff that speaks for itself, but I'm talking about the off the field stuff, his love. You could tell he loves ball, and I think. When you pair a guy, when a guy has the traits plus they have the love for the game, that's when you get a starter in the NFL, so on and so forth. You can name the accolades after that.
So what you love to hear about a guy, just his first impressions of him. Like he loves football, he's putting in the work, he's got the it factor, and he's not just talking about the skill set. Like he's just got the makeup of somebody that's going to play, as Mike said, have a long, great career.
You can't play for Jim Harbaugh and not love football. Like go to Michigan, commit to Michigan, and be in a room with Jim Harbaugh, who maybe loves football more than anybody, and then you elevate yourself into a historic defense. We're going to look back on that defense. Does Will Johnson have a chance to be the best player coming out of that defense? Like perhaps, have you heard anything about Mason Graham? It's tough as a D tackle to make waves, but I mean, I've heard a lot more about Will Johnson than I have about Mason Graham this training camp, right? So it's something to keep an eye on. I'm with Fuddle. I just can't believe he fell.
Yeah.
And it's not that he fell, it's that the Cardinals were the team to take him. How many times? It's almost like groupthink with this franchise in the past, because we know they were not buttoned up and they couldn't scout and evaluate. Oh, if X player's falling, that must mean other teams don't like him. We better stay away. Instead of trusting their board and their vision and their medical team and their development program and saying, nope, it's going to work here.
Yeah.
They have been proven right through 5 months of the offseason into the regular season, and they are poised to reap the benefits, because I'm going to tell you right now, he's the most instinctual cornerback that they have on their roster. With all due respect to everybody else, you just can't teach what he has.
Exactly. And him going to them in the second half, it's franchise altering type stuff. Like, to be able to add 2 first-round caliber guys. Now, obviously, things have to develop, they have to contribute. But Will Johnson, I mean, it wasn't he's got character issues or he's got we didn't see the production. Like, it was all there.
He's hurt already coming off an ACL.
Right. And, we were talking, as far as, was there any kind of fallout after the draft, or what's with the true concern by NFL talent evaluators? And it was just kind of the roll of the dice, or the inexactness of the injury, to where it's nothing now, but it could be something tomorrow, or it could be something a year from now, or it could come up around time there's like a second contract. But as it stands right now, Will Johnson, who is the best corner in the NCAA in 2023, helping Michigan to a national title, top player on defense in the title game, 3 pick sixes to 2 touchdowns surrendered. Like, that guy is fully healthy and ready to make plays in your defense, and you got him for the value of a second-round pick.
Like, we romanticize Honey Badger, and I love Honey Badger. Does anybody know how many seasons he played here? 5.
Yeah.
5 seasons. And how many games did he miss? How much he was injured? His last year, he wasn't himself. And we love Tyron. People are like, put Tyron in the Ring of Honor. Retire as a Cardinal, Tyron. 5 years.
Yeah.
Probably 2.5 to 3 great years combined. And people want to scoff at, like, well, Will Johnson might not make it to second contract, or you might regret the deal that you signed to him. Okay. Do you think the LA Rams, they regretted giving Todd Gurley that money? Would they take back the production that he gave them while he was an elite player? The best player perhaps in the NFL that one season where he had like 25 touchdowns? We have a problem as an NFL scouting community where, instead of focusing on the now with a kid, instead we're trying to project how many picks tons of guys play in this league for 10 years and they stink. They're backups. They're not any good. They can't play. Matt Leinart was in this league for 8 to 10 years, bouncing around teams, couldn't play, right? I don't care if he's healthy. He's awful. He can't play. We saw that firsthand here in Arizona. Countless names like that. Isaiah Simmons bouncing around. Or do we want a kid who's an elite player now? Yeah. And it's like, give him a chance, work with our team and our staff, and do what's best for him and help him make some money in the meantime.
We talked to somebody, we trust their opinion on these things, but just taking us through, Will Johnson, especially how he covers and how he plays the cornerback position, and just his ability to kind of not only guard his man, but also keep tabs on the quarterback, and how he puts himself in a position to come away with interceptions that he consistently did at Michigan. And it's next level stuff, right? It's not 101 stuff. Now, sure, like, he's going to have his rookie lumps, I'm sure he's going to take, but like, it's stuff that I guarantee you John A. Barron's not doing. I guarantee you Maxwell Harrison's not doing. I guarantee you year one Pat Pete wasn't doing. And it's exciting. And like, I know, like, obviously the maturation development, it's got to happen. He's going to be thrown to the wolves. And maybe he responds and he has one of those, exceptions to the rule and it's like a Sauce Gardner performance, or he has a good, not great rookie season. But I think in the long term, this guy is just going to be a big time player for them.
Right around the corner, we're going to do pole position. We're going to talk about the state of the defensive line group. There's a clip that's gone viral on social media with Elijah Simmons one-on-one in drills. Can the Cardinals afford to cut this player? We're going to give you our take next. It's PHNX Cardinals. Can I afford to go and get fast food tonight? No, I cannot. Can I afford to go buy groceries? I can't do that either. Here's what I can't afford.
Do you need a loan?
Times are tough. Times are tough. Meal deal matrix, though. They're here to rescue me. The $3 meal deal with our friends at Circle K via the Inner Circle. Hot dog, tornado, Frito-Lay's chip, and a Polar Pop. $3, $3 flipping dollars. I think that's what my kids pay for their hot lunch at school. I'm eating good. $4 meal deal. They got the breakfast Sammy, hash brown, Bang energy drink, $4. And then the coup de grace, the chef's kiss, the $5 meal deal right now. 2 slices of pizza. They're not those little skinny slices. They might as well be. They're not, but they might as well be like deep dish. They're huge. Yeah. And any 20-ounce Polar Pop, $5. $5 right now. Join the Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply. Again, if you're not doing Circle K Inner Circle, like you're basically flushing money down the toilet. Do yourself a favor. Check them out right now at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for more details.
I got to ask you guys a question after the break here about my Circle K etiquette from this morning, but we'll get to that. But I got to tell you, because I got Johnny needs some help financially. How about $350 you can save on your flooring, Johnny? You can do that with our friends over at Empire today, and so can all of our listeners. You watch, you listen to PHNX Cardinals. Take this promo code and help really upgrade your flooring with Empire Today. How about $350 off? Go to empiretoday.com/PHNX. Use the code PHNX, and you can work with the professionals who are just set up to get you successfully new flooring in your house quickly, conveniently, and you're going to love the floors. How about some hardwoods, laminate, carpet, tile? They got it all, and they got the pros. They're going to make it easy on you. Check them out right now, empiretoday.com/PHNX. Save yourself $350 right out of the gates with $350 off by using the code PHNX. Also, check out their virtual floor designer. You can just use your smartphone and see what new flooring would look like in your dwelling. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/PHNX for full details.
Can you spare a super chat? Can you spare a super chat for your boy?
I walked my dog this morning when it was not ungodly hot, and there's a Circle K walking distance, and I was like, I'm not gonna like tie my dog to the trash can here or anything. So I just went into the store and got my iced coffee there. It was what do you guys think about that? Bad move?
I love it. Love animals.
I think people bring animals everywhere.
Okay, good.
As long as he's on a leash with you. What I don't like is when people have their dogs off leash, and not because I'm afraid of dogs, when I have my dog and they're like running all over. And so it's a courtesy. As long as it's on the leash, you're good.
Yeah. I was a little concerned. She's still under a year. That, potentially if I got close to somebody, she might, jump or something. But luckily, killed it, crushed it. So I think we'll have a new regular to the Circle K, not only myself, but my pup.
Love that. Speaking of crushing it, Elijah Simmons has been, for an undrafted player on this roster, has been one of the top 10 talking points of training camp. There was a clip. Let's go ahead and pull it up if we could, Noah. I don't know if I can talk over it. This is via Blitz Sports Media. Look at Elijah Simmons dominate in one-on-one drills, so much so he gets the attention of Cardinals defensive line coach. Let's see it one more time here, Bo. Who is this up against?
Yeah, that's Royce Newman, veteran offensive lineman who they signed this year. Elijah put him in a blender. Coach Debo was absolutely juiced after that rep.
Let's go into this conversation. So we don't know how many off-ball linebackers they're keeping. Probably 3. Feel like for this 3rd consecutive year, they're going to keep 6 corners. They like their safety group. Nothing to see here. The defensive line group is the biggest question mark. Not who's making the team, but how many guys. Elijah Simmons right now, Bo, I'm going to ask you here on August 7th, ahead of the preseason opener, does Elijah Simmons make this team?
Man, I was not prepared for this question right now. I think it's just a numbers game, and he becomes a roster casualty trying to get from 90 to 53. I think it's unfortunate. And hopefully, you could practice squad.
You're cutting good football players. How dare you?
They are gonna look. Hey, breaking news! Woo, woo. They're gonna have to cut some good football players. They've got a deep roster.
They're not putting Walter Nolen on injury reserve. I've seen some talk from some local media here in Arizona picking up the fact that Walter Nolen might miss games. He's not missing games, okay? He could miss week 1. He's going to start practicing soon. He's not being put on injured reserve, okay? Feel good about Walter's recovery. Assuming he doesn't have a setback. So Walter Nolen's going to be one of the defensive linemen on the active roster. You're active. So then it's like, so Bo, with that being said, are they keeping 6 defensive linemen again? Are they keeping 7?
If they keep 7, I think that the door is ajar. I think that they could make him the 7th just because of the role that he would fill, and that's kind of been my main argument for this defensive line room and how they would kind of round out the back end, because you've got guys like Dalvin Tomlinson and Calais Campbell who profile differently than D-Rob and Dante Stills, and Walter Nolen's got nose tackle versatility. Like, if Walter Nolen's not good to go and they need, an extra nose to feel, they've got enough depth to start the season, then I think Elijah Simmons could absolutely fill that.
Do you believe he is on the hierarchy? I'm just peppering my man with questions like he's JG. Do you believe?
I think the hardest are behind me, so I don't think you can get tougher than that.
Do you think he's on the hierarchy ahead of Justin Jones right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I do too. Ozzy putting in the chat, like, I haven't seen one good clip of Justin Jones. Was he practicing today?
I was looking for him. I don't believe so, but I can't confirm that.
So he missed a whole week of practice ahead of a pivotal matchup Saturday in Glendale against Kansas City. Bilal Nichols also not practicing. I am with you. If they keep 7 defensive linemen, I think Simmons is in. If they don't and they go 6, then he's out. He's out if they keep 6. They're not cutting Dante Stills or LJ Collier. Yeah. But I don't know how anybody can feel good about trying to get this guy to clear waivers. He's had too much good tape, and especially if he performs well the next 2 weeks, and everybody sees and hears it. There are how many teams out there where, like the Cardinals the last couple of years, that need good defensive linemen? You cut this kid, you better be prepared. Like, we're leaving him vulnerable. Like, with all due respect to Clayton Tune, the Cardinals know Clayton Tune's not going to be claimed.
Yeah,
Clayton Tune will be cut, and he'll be brought back on the practice squad, and we'll see you, next weekend. But that ain't a sure thing with Elijah Simmons. Here's
what I'll say. I think he's a great, prospect. He can be somebody that can contribute to this team. I know he's beloved by his teammates. He was a hit at the rookie, talent show that they did a couple nights ago. We've seen the video that went semi-viral of him singing "Voice of an Angel." You retweeting that, that puts him in danger. I think that puts him more in danger of getting picked up. And if he's not being able to slide onto the practice squad, we only have you to look at and blame for that.
Very similar to during the draft where Bo highlighted Princely Umanyara from where was he?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. That the Cardinals were interested, and then the Cardinals got jumped 1 pick ahead for Princely. So very similar to that. Very similar. The good news is Elijah Simmons is still on the team right now. I'm just trying to get
win some, lose some. That's what I say.
Yeah, that was you though. I'm trying to get, even Fran Duffy alluded to it. I'm trying to get collectively this fan base to give all of the flowers to this kid so the team feels pressured. We're trying to bully the Cardinals and Austin Ford into not making a horrible decision here. I got a great decision is for everybody to stick around as we go into overtime. Head on over to gophnx.com.
Kind of weird we're on the screen making sound effects.
It's my favorite thing. Become a diehard. Gophnx.com. We're going to get to your super chats here. All right. So Elijah Simmons.
Yeah. Do you want to hear? We had one more clip from Michael Wilson today about throwing the ball downfield. You want to hear about that?
Sure. I'd love to.
let's get to Mike. I asked him about making some plays downfield, explosives in the passing game.
No, I don't think. I think that's one of the. I think it's an emphasis for our offense this year is we want to be explosive in the passing game. I think just stating objective facts, I think the last 2 years we've been sort of on the bottom tier of generating explosives in the passing game, and so that's going to be an emphasis for our receiver core is not only getting vertical and being a threat downfield, but also getting yak yards and turning 5-yard gains and our 5-yard catches into 20-yard gains. So I think just being explosive as a group is definitely going to be on the forefront of our mind.
I lied. That was Theo Mackey that asked it. I didn't ask it, but you love to hear that Michael Wilson, that it's an emphasis as far as the Cardinals offense goes to generate more explosives in the pass game. And he pointed to last 2 seasons where they were statistically. You've heard it a lot on this show, and that they just understand that needs to start. The arrow needs to start pouring up in that direction as far as production from downfield plays.
They know what they need to do. Can they execute? Remains to be seen. That's, again, we're not going to have the answer to that. I mean, we'll hopefully get a taste this weekend, and then week 1 at New Orleans. Absolutely. Any other takeaways defensively?
Defensively, I mean, as far as camp recap, yeah, Mac Wilson I thought was great, making the transition from Will to Mike linebacker and kind of be the extension of Rollis out there on the field. He's going to be obviously wearing the green dot. D-Rob solid. The defensive line just as a group. We talked to Jacoby Brissett, and there's just no relief. Like if you're running, first team offense and you're going up against the first team defense, you're going up against who are the starters. But if you're on the second team offense, you're facing guys that are going to rotate in with the first team, anyway. Like the rotation is that deep. So it's a relentless attack. And it's just good to hear that about all those different guys there. Jacoby Brissett, too, kind of on what Michael Wilson said. I asked Jacoby, I legitimately asked this one. I'm not lying here to the audience again, but about how we noticed you were out there a couple of times. He took some shots in practice. He was throwing the ball down the field. I asked him if that was just like a product of the system, or what made him feel like he wanted to drive the ball down the field. This was his answer.
It's just like when I was in Cleveland in this offense and having guys that can go down the field and make plays, and make plays down the field and I think Drew kind of calls those plays because he thinks I like him. So I kind of been forced to like him. But no, it's just being able to exploit that part of my game, but also that weakness in the defense.
He's had a great camp, by the way. Mm-hmm. Looks great. I love being pressured by Drew. You like these? No, not really. You like them. You're into them. You're into these checkdowns.
I got you just what you wanted. Some downfield passes. But isn't that strange, though? Like, yeah, you would hear that. It's like Drew calls him because he thinks I like him. It's like, well, tell him that Kyler Murray likes him.
Right. We like him. This fan base likes him. What are you doing? What are you doing to get this privilege, Jacoby Brissett? Interesting. I got one more name defensively that, again, like I did not like this move last year, and we were sitting here every Sunday, Monday, and it was like, where's the impact? Baron Browning's had a really good camp. And we gave David Collins his flowers, and I think he'll be enabled by the versatility of Baron Browning. Baron Browning and Zaven Collins like tag teaming a defensive end spot opposite Josh Sweat's going to be a good thing for this team. We heard from somebody recently that said the Cardinals really love their 4-man rotation defensive end. You get Ojulari back at some point. Ojulari and Will Hernandez like coming back and giving you some juice later in the season. That's a good thing. But Browning in particular, Bo, you were bullish. You thought he could have a breakout season. There are a lot of people who think that, and he was really impressive in the red and white scrimmage on Saturday. And again, like I'm not one to stick with an opinion if things change, if I get new information. I did not like the move last year, and it didn't pay dividends. But that doesn't mean that the Cardinals can't say, well, we need more time with this guy because we think he can help us, and he could be the benefactor of a lot of moves that fortify this defensive line, and suddenly you're not reliant on him as much. Baron Browning, I will be productive for this team this year in the form of sacks. He will finish this year.
Baron Browning, we talked about Zaven Collins being kind of a highlight yesterday. Mm-hmm. Zaven Collins is a bit of a pass rush heater. He
Yep.
continued that today.
Nice.
You look good. I don't know if maybe something's just clicking in year 3 or if it's just an advantage of playing behind a little bit more of a stout defensive line that's opening up more kind of lanes for him to get to opposing quarterbacks.
Right.
But Zaven Collins, along with Baron Browning, looking good, getting after the passer is not something that, I would have anticipated saying at this stage.
Everybody hit that like button. We're going to get to your super chats momentarily. I do have a photo that just came across my Twitter timeline. Anthony Richardson with a broken finger. Look at this. His pinky. He's doing his best Baldy impression here on his throwing hand.
Know if they're squeamish, my man.
Oh, no, that's great. That's football right there. That's what football is all about. Anthony Richardson's throwing hand, his pinky is going opposite to the rest of his fingers.
Not great to get good grip on the football there.
I love the people. I don't, but I love the people on Twitter who are like, I feel really bad for Anthony Richardson, but it was his fault. He didn't pick up the blitzer. He needed to get the ball out. And I'm like, come on, guys. Even if that is true, do we need to tweet that out? Do we need to put that on Twitter?
Yes, because you spend enough time on Twitter that absolutely there are people that feel like that their voice needs, in their opinion, needs to be heard on that.
I get you just broke your finger, but let me tell you why it's your fault.
They haven't even put it back, and you're just like, should have read the pre-snap, the where the pressure was coming from there.
It's just slobs eating on their couch. Yeah, Anthony Richardson. So you don't even pick up the blitz, chugging my Mountain Dew, eat my pizza rolls. It's like I don't like Anthony Richardson, the player, in terms of like his game, but come on, guys, times are tough. Let's be a little bit better than that.
Sports hero is exactly right. It's just a cold world out there. People just love to pile on.
All right. Anything else for super chats, my guy?
No, I thought it was the most competitive camp under Gannon. I mean, you could tell that the talent level has risen to where you just saw a ton of competition out there. Math the Power Joe broke your finger, you moron. Yeah, your fault. That's how it is. I had some people in my mentions. I posted that Marvin Harrison Jr. over the shoulder catch in the end zone.
Yeah,
we're like, not a catch. It's out of bounds. Like they literally have a referee over the play, and he throws up the touchdown. It's like you got the booth review going on there from behind your laptop, Brian P. Wow, we're really attacking Mountain Dew. No, we would never.
I mean, I don't like it. There are a ton of people on Twitter that
extreme
basically hate football and hate their life, and all they do is complain. And it's just like, good Lord, like this is the best team this franchise has had maybe half a decade plus. I'm fired up about it. I'm fired up about these super chats. Continue to drop your likes and your super chats. We'll hang out as long as you guys want. YouTube user Shaft. Of course, it's Shaft. If anyone has sent me a message in the Discord, please be patient. I think I should be up and running again tomorrow, and I'll follow up with everyone. The draft is set for August 28th. Be ready. We appreciate that, Shaft. And perfect segue in reminding everybody that August 28th, we're going to be at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass for an event, which, by the way, is free $99. Thursday, August 28th at the Upper Deck Kitchen and Bar. We're going to have a live show at 4:30, just like we do every single day. We're going to have a live preview for the season, and then we're going to do our fantasy football draft. It'll be a twofold: PHNX employees, team members, and then we're going to have the diehard draft, and Shaft's been taking care of that. All going to be in person. We're going to be having a blast. The live preview is not on YouTube, so it is in-person exclusive, right? And again, ask Bo and I whatever you want. We'll have a conversation. We'll hop on the mics. We'll have some fun. And can't wait to see everybody out at Gila. Thanks, Shaft, for that.
Absolutely. Can't wait for that. We're going to be double dipping. We're going to be part of the PHNX Fantasy Football Draft, which will be live. And then we're going to have our diehards. They're going to have their own little scrum there. We'll be checking in, I'm sure. Are we doing the full broadcast again? Does anybody know? Nobody tells us anything. I think we are, right?
I mean, last year it was a long broadcast.
Yeah.
And I went home and I cut clips, and people were just like, no one cares about your fantasy. So
nobody really does.
I will not.
Yeah, the only person that cares about your fantasy football team is you. That's it. Just know that when you're having conversation out in the world. But yeah, it's going to be a good time though.
No doubt about it. Let's get to this next super
What's
chat
your endorsement for if we have a live broadcast?
We're just going to be doing some hanging.
Yeah.
Cardinals burner 199. We'll do back to back. Damn, y'all are fast. Okay, on it. That was in result of the 10 likes. And then how about this? Cardinal burner, the newest diehard, PHNX Sports. We appreciate you, my friend. Tag us on Twitter. Get some merch. See you in that. Cardinals burner is like a number one draft pick to the Discord. That's fantastic.
It is great. Big time on Instagram. Make sure you're following along if you love Cardinals content on the IG streets. Taco Corp $4.99 super chat. Can't wait for 2 years from now when we're having conversations of who we can and can't pay because Monty drafted like a cheat code.
First world problems. Inject them. Like the Niners have dealt with for the last half decade, right? Do they pay DeForest Buckner, Armstead? Do they trade? Do they let people go? Do they pay Ayuk and Debo, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, Ufunga, Chardavius Ward? Like, I want that in my life. I want those conversations. Now
the Niners are having what we usually experience. It's like, oh, we're bringing in Andy Isabella. Oh, Robbie Chosen Anderson. Can I get excited about this? I shouldn't.
Enjoy the slop. AZ Coda $4.99. Long time listener, both. Thanks for being my friend on Twitter. JV still waiting. That is not true because I checked this earlier in the show. We are friends on Twitter. Am I just not vocal enough? Bo's really engaging on Twitter. I'm too busy fighting people off. It's mean streets on there.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, look, Johnny, maybe step it up.
I'm sorry.
I've been told that I don't follow back. Sometimes I do. Sometimes you need to keep the timeline clean for information.
Somebody told me recently that you do not allow unverified people to DM you. So I was just going to put that on your radar.
I thought, no, I try to open my DMs to anybody. If that's the case and
it's like a setting, I think.
You can change that. I'll change it. Okay.
Baharo, $2. Last camp,
bro.
No, I was just passing some feedback on while we're live on air. Last camp had you guys taken 3 1,000 wide receivers. Need to see it. Well, we thought it was going to happen.
We didn't say 3 1K. I would have never, and I'm assuming it would be like Trey, Marv, and Michael, right? I don't think we ever said.
We had Michael on the show, and he projected himself to have 1,000 yards.
Okay.
So maybe that's where the conversation spurred.
I mean, we were high on them, and we thought they were going to have a way more productive year than that. But maybe I'm nitpicking the comment. But I see your point.
We were all very underwhelmed with the passing game statistics last year. Kyler Murray, if you would have told, I would have bet my life that Kyler Murray would have thrown for 4,000 yards if he had played 17 games.
Can you imagine? You're sitting there and he's got to get 4K or you're done.
It's a turn of phrase. It's not. Would have bet my mortgage. I mean, like how many passing yards did Kyler Murray have?
Final whistle blows and they score the touchdown to Marv. He has a great finale, but it's just still short. And you're just
Grim Reaper comes. Let's go, Johnny. 3,800 yards last year. I would have bet my life. So many of those games, it was like Kyler Murray finished the half 100 yards. I'm just like, what is going on?
97 yards. Oh, man. Yeah. Alberto, $4.99. Thank you guys for another great offseason of Cardinals content. Pretty awesome chatting with fellow Cardinals from all over. That's what it's about, my guy. It's what we love about this community. It's like we got guys from Carolina, D.C., Wisconsin, Arizona,
California, New Mexico, Louisiana,
all over the place in the state. From in the Valley, East Side, West Side. You've got people in Yuma, Tucson that are listening. We love it. We love that the fan base is vast and growing.
It's only gonna get bigger.
UK, did you mention that?
Yeah, UK, overseas, Canada.
Australia.
Tony B 199. Oh, this is nice. Everyone check out JV's chat with Ari. Great stuff. Yeah, I got to jump on Ari's podcast the other day. Why are you laughing?
No comment. It was great.
Wow. Some jealousy there from my.
No, I'm protecting my guy.
Who's your guy?
My guy Noah.
What? No, you didn't like my hit with Ari?
You just did a gesture behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
no, it's all good.
Yeah, don't worry about
It
it.
was good.
No, I'm see you in the alley on Saturday night with a lead pipe coming after you, my guy.
I thought it was a great chat with Ari. That was fantastic. I encourage people to check it out on YouTube.
Ari wants to come back on our show, maybe do some collaboration during the season, but now I know that I can't trust my producer, my co-host, so I will take care of that by myself.
I mean, just ask him though. Does he want Noah and myself to be a part of it, or you just keep it to you two guys?
Terrence Tidbits, $4.99. Kyler Murray will throw more than 30 touchdowns. True or false, bro?
I think he's close. I think he gets close, but 30 is a big number. His career high is 26. Like, I would accept anything from like 26 to 28 from Kyler.
I'll go false because I think he's going to run the football and he gets 5+ rushing touchdowns every year. He had 21 last year, and he got those numbers. I love K1. He juiced up his numbers in the finale. He had 17 passing touchdowns going into the finale against the corpse of the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
So can he jump to 30? If he does, then everything. If Kyler Murray throws 30 touchdowns this year, this team probably wins the division. We're popping champagne. I mean, it's a great season.
Yeah.
I think 4,000 yards passing and 20, as Bo said, 26 to 28 touchdowns is a good year.
Yeah. Blows your grief. Dana Ball Knower jumping in $5. Thank you, Dana. I saw Mesh in camp. If I don't see it week 1, I will cry. Hopefully the route concepts are functional this year.
You're there every day. You watch the offense every day. Do you think the passing game is more evolved in terms of the schematics and the route running?
I do think that they are taking a step forward as far as how they're going to deploy the passing game. Absolutely.
Yeah. People are saying timeout, Johnny. Johnny paused. Did I say something that was?
You did. What
did I say?
It didn't sound great. I just pray that nobody clips it.
Okay. Now people are definitely going to clip it. Here's what I'm going to ask you. Here's what I'm going to ask everybody right now. Pause and like this video. Subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Do yourself a favor. Ring that bell for notifications. We're off tomorrow. We get a rare weekday day off because we're hitting it hard on Saturday. Myself, Bo, Noah, maybe, and Britton, we're going to get after it as the Arizona Cardinals host Patrick Mahomes. It was reported that Andy Reid said Mahomes is playing at least a quarter. Does Kyler Murray play that long, Bo?
I have no idea. Like when we saw Colt McCoy as the first team quarterback get reps, and that was the first year under Petzing, where we see 2 series. I would think maybe 2 series from the first team offense.
Yeah. I would think first quarter, at most, you're only getting 3 possessions in the first quarter. So I could see him playing the whole first quarter.
Okay.
Like if he plays more than that, I would think something maybe went horribly wrong.
No.
Don't you think if Kyler Murray scores a touchdown on the opening drive, that'll be it for them?
Could be it. Yeah.
It's really dependent on how many snaps, what's it look like, conversion rate maybe on third down, but I mean, what would it mean? We'll talk about this when you're live at State Farm Stadium on our pregame show Saturday, but what would it mean for Kyler Murray to just outperform Mahomes for a night in a preseason game? Would you take anything away from that?
I'd probably say Super Bowl.
That's fair.
No, I mean, if he goes out there and he's just efficient and we see like a 4 for 4 or 5 for 5, like the best of all realities, and he throws a touchdown pass on the opening drive, like, and it's just get in, get out, business mentality. Like that's what we want to talk about. That's what you and I want to talk about at halftime and in the post game.
I think Kyler Murray, he was on with the flagship station yesterday. He's been asked a bunch of times, like, what's wrong with you, Kyler Murray? What's wrong with your game? What's wrong with your deep ball? He and Marv, if there's ever been a year where 2 players just put up the double middle finger at everybody else and dominate, this is the year. They have a common goal. They've been disrespected. And these are like the number one players coming out of high school, coming out of college, and people are like, can these guys play?
I love that. Somebody was asking me if I saw that, and I had to go find it. And it was like, some people say this is their criticism about you. It's like, no, you say that. That's you. What do you say to the people that say this about you?
What do you say when I say it to your face right now?
No, I won't do that. Wouldn't dare do that. Terrence's Tidbits, $4.99. Johnny, you're hilarious. Bo, thank you for putting up with the shenanigans. Love this community at PHNX. Stay cool, everyone.
Bo's the straight man for sure. We appreciate everybody here. Drop a like on this video. Nasty boys. Gannon said he loves Will Johnson. He's nasty and he's tough. And we're the nasty boys of PHNX.
Mean is nasty.
Mean and nasty. Everybody do us a favor. Would appreciate it exponentially. Go to your podcast feed and follow the show. Make sure it's locked in. We're going to be doing some audio only shows en route to the start of the regular season. And if you're not a diehard yet, like, let us know what we can do to get you to commit. Again, $36 for the year. My DMs, I don't know about my co-hosts, they're wide open. I'm ready to talk diehard, and I'm ready to break it down.
Maybe that's where my invite from Ari was. Maybe it's just because I don't allow everybody to DM me.
No, I think just, sometimes guys just get passed over. Again, drop it. You're gonna have to close the show. I can't.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, somebody's saying no show on Football Friday. No, we've got the content for you. Make sure to check it out. You got to be subscribed to PHNX Sports. We're gonna have a couple on-demand videos dropping tomorrow because the content never stops. And then we're back with you live on Saturday. Full dress rehearsal. Is it like pregame? Right?
Pre-game, halftime, post-game show, myself and Britton Golden in studio, and then Bo Brack will be chiming in from State Farm Stadium. It's like a real game with real players.
It's a beautiful thing. I'll never wear a jersey, but look,
you wear a Hawaiian shirt before a jersey. Jeez.
This is a great shirt. My wife bought it for me. And I love it. At PHNX_Cardinals on Twitter, Instagram, at Johnny Venerable, at Bo Brack. Everybody have a great Thursday, and barring breaking news Friday, we'll talk to you Saturday. It's game time by then on PHNX Cards.
We all silly like the mayor.